All right. Well, we're at the top of the hour, and I want to welcome you all to Hendricks How-Tos. My name is Michele Yasuda, and this is
Dean Yasuda.
And we get to play together today, which is one of our favorite things to do. And so what we wanted to share today is a communication tool that is body-centered. And like, what? Body-centered? Where we're using our whole body to connect with each other and to communicate and play. Yes, I like that. To play with each other. So like everything else, I like to start with breath. We were just talking about that between us, of how important it is to move and breathe. So perhaps you could maybe lead a presencing. Well, actually, I just realized that. So presencing before the art of the toss, which is what we're going to be doing, is really important. So I want to invite you to do this with us. We're going to do it with each other to demonstrate that. So turn fully towards, and in this case, you'll turn fully towards yourselves. And hi, Jody. And so if you're with someone else, you're going to turn fully towards them. Yeah. And then the next step.
Open your posture. So you don't want to be like this.
Why not? Why shouldn't I be like this when I'm going?
That won't be any fun. Yeah, open your posture. Try and soften and relax your shoulders and your body.
Okay.
Your jaw.
And then naturally
take a few easy breaths. Slow inhale, slow exhale.
Yes, letting that belly expand, like you're breathing deep down into your pelvic area, letting the belly expand, and then it just naturally falls back towards the spine. So those are the presencing moves before we start.
Yeah, because often in my experience, when we talk to someone, sometimes it can just be so quick.
Yeah.
That you're like, wait, what? What happened?
Like, hey, you know what I'm talking about.
Like a drive by.
Yeah, drive by. Whoa.
What happened? Well, the person isn't ready to get one.
Oh yeah. La 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 la.
I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, or I'm over here actually, and
something.
You start talking to me. I'm looking on my phone, and what?
Exactly. So having a good practice of presencing each other. It takes, you saw.
Oh my gosh, what is that? 30 seconds. Yeah. Hey, Ron.
30 seconds.
And then,
30 seconds and you're together, and then you can, all right.
Now we can actually connect and play. Yeah. So today what we're sharing with you is how to use the art of the toss. So what I want to invite you to do is grab a pen and pencil. And if you're watching the recording, you'll have time to do that. If you don't have one nearby, we'll be putting a link in the recording afterwards, so you can come on the Mighty Networks or on Instagram, and you'll see a link to learning more about this amazing tool. So with the art of the toss, I like the moving. With the art of the toss, there are 3 sentences that the listener is going to say.
Yes.
And it's only those 3 sentences. Only those 3. And it's really tempting to go off script, and it feels like, oh, I'm on a script, it's not real. Trust the wisdom and the magic of this tool. We've learned that it actually
it works.
It works. Don't mess with it. Yeah. So like any other good tool, if you want to improvise with your tool, do that after you've practiced it the way that you've learned the tool. That's what I have found, especially in the Hendricks world. I found that improvising comes after integrating the tool, because these are really well practiced for many decades now.
You can practice this with anyone, because it's not, even though it looks like a script, but when you do it, it's like, you can be like, wow, well, tell me more about that. And they're like, oh, okay. And it's like, wow, then what happens? And just make it real easy, and then they don't think it's like you're trying to get something out of them.
Yes, well, it doesn't feel scripted then. And so Dean just gave away 2 of them. So if you have your pen and paper, no, that's great. Your pen and paper ready. The first sentence is, tell me more. Tell me more. The next sentence is, and then what happens, or what happened. And the third one is what interests you. What interests you most about that? I was like, he wants to play too. What interests you most about that? And these 3 sentences, if you want to watch someone open up and be in the creative field and in the interplay of connection, use these sentences and practice and see what happens. So let's demonstrate.
I just want to also just underline that often people don't get heard or don't get listened to.
What did you say?
So using those sentences, you can, like Michele said, you can actually see someone really open up, like, wow, they're really interested in what I'm talking about. You know, like you're really interested to hear what that person's saying, and it's a beautiful connection.
I also remember what you always said when we first learned this tool, which is that you didn't have to think about what you were going to say next, which is one of the tricky parts of communication. When I'm not actually present with the person who I'm talking to, because I'm thinking about my rebuttal or my response or sounding smart, or, you know, there's a whole bunch of reasons why I might not allow the other person to fully express.
Yes.
And so this tool really helps to give the mind and really to give the mind and the body something to do, so that we can be present with each other. So
have connection.
Let's do it.
All right, so I'm going to have the ball, and I'm going to say, so what upcoming are you excited about? Something that's upcoming that you are excited about?
And that happens too.
So then I'll toss the ball.
Maybe we should back up a little. All right. Oh, I am super excited. I'm going on a trip next week. And even though I would be really excited, like even more, if you were going on that trip, I'm going by myself. And something I've been noticing lately is how much fun I'm having with travel.
Tell me more.
So even though I have this story that it makes me tired and it's hard for me after travel, even though I have that story, what I notice is that the interruption of my regular life, doing something different, has been really enriching for my brain. Like I feel like it's working for me really well.
And what excites you most about that?
You changed the script.
Oops.
I like that though. What excites you most about that? Redo.
Now I forgot what it was.
What interests you most about that? He's only been doing this for a decade.
What interests you most about that?
Oh, that's fantastic. Improvisation and our funniness. So what interests me most about that? Well, this particular trip, I'm getting to be in a community with the Hendricks community, and that's really delightful to me.
And then what happens? And then what happens?
Well, what happens is I get filled up with a lot of juicy energy and aliveness, and I feel like I'll bring that home to you.
Ooh, tell me more.
So I think you probably got the idea of how this works. And so then you would reverse roles on that. We've taught this tool to middle schoolers, to teenagers and young adults and you know, elderly adults. I'm totally kidding. LJ, I was kind of just meaning us. That's
How rude.
How rude. We've taught this tool to people of all ages and stages, and the feedback that we get, I would say, is so much about what you said before, where someone, I think the one that strikes me the most is a middle schooler who said, that's the first time I've ever felt listened to completely. And I know it was like sad and happy at the same time, that they got to experience that, and of course the lack of that out in the world. So you can spread the joy of the art of the toss by bringing it out to the world. Yeah.
Well, no, we're a little long, but And
you have 30 seconds.
as you can see how we did that the speaker, 1 or 2 out breaths.
Oh, yes.
Because that's part of the game. You know, I don't want to be standing here,
yeah.
you know, or she has the ball and she's
blah, 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 blah,
hey,
blah, blah, blah.
I want to play. So
there's no game there.
There's no game. And the really cool part about this practice is that the speaker has all the time in the world. You don't, there's no like, okay, that's enough. It's give me some and I'll throw it back and just play.
Yeah, you can spread out. And even though what Dean just said, you have all the time in the world, actually what we do suggest to people is to pick a certain amount of time that you're going to play with this in reverse roles. But what I agree with you that it feels like you have all the time in the world. That's what it is. It gives that feeling of, oh, I have the floor and no one's going to take it away from me. Exactly. Take that ball away. So have fun, play with this in your life, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining.